Hello. This is Heather and Adriana.
Hi.
And then we have our cat, Angel. He's come to join us. Today we are going to be channeling about relationships and when is it appropriate or when is it needed to set boundaries and to even cut ties, and how important is it to interact with high vibrational people versus lower vibrational asleep people. So that's what we're going to be channeling about, and hopefully it's helpful for you to know. And I know the holidays are coming up, so maybe you are going to have to, or you think you have to, interact with lower energy people. So I will be bringing in Archangel Michael. I just figured that would be appropriate for the source of this information. Okay, so let's get started. Yes, we can proceed.
Thank you. How do we know if a relationship is healthy in our life or not?
It's very simple. How often does that relationship make you feel good? If it makes you feel good, then this is a healthy relationship. If it is full of drama and trauma, then it is not healthy. So it is that simple, and you must ask yourself how often it makes you happy. There's few that makes you happy all the time, but most of the time you can ask yourself this question, and to know what percentage of the amount of time you are spent with that person, are you happy or are you more frustrated, anxious, down, angry? So that is my answer.
So tell us about interacting with lower vibrational asleep people. Do we need to shield when we are around them?
It is beneficial to shield, and to shield always, even around high vibrational people. And let me explain why. Because even high vibrational people could carry certain entities and certain attachments. This is very common. So it isn't so much whether they are asleep, but so much as what do they carry. It is possible even for very high vibrational people to have attachments and things that could come across to you. But most of the time, high vibrational people are pure. Lower vibrational people do have more entanglements, and they serve themselves often. So that means that their energy field is trying to grab onto yours and trying to manipulate yours. So that is why it is important to shield. So shielding daily, no matter who you come in contact with, is the wisest choice. Interacting with lower vibrational people can be detrimental to your health as well, because it can deplete your energy and make you tired. Also, higher vibrational people will enlighten you and expand you. Lower vibrational people can keep you confined and have certain rules and frequencies that meet you to a certain level but do not understand you on an expanded level, so you match them more than they match you. So then you actually lower yourself to meet them, because there has to be a space. So let's say somebody comes into an space with certain people who are lower. And when we say lower, we just mean the vibration. We are not using this as a judgment. So when somebody has a lower frequency than yours, and that's just an understanding of the love light, an understanding of the true essence of the self. When they have a lower frequency and you have a higher, you need to match somehow. So either they need to rise to match you, which is usually not possible. So then they will match you to a certain level, which they are capable of, and then you lower down. So it all depends on how much they can rise. If they cannot rise very far, how far are you lowering? So that is why it isn't the best for you to interact with lower vibrational people.
Is it important for us to shield more or shield in a specific way when we're around lower vibrational people versus others?
Yes. When you are around the people that you interact with that are lower, it is very possible for you to interact with them. You just have to be very careful. You have to spread yourself further. So what I mean by that is to raise your vibration and to push outwards your field. Mm-hmm. So when you push your field outwards, you become stronger. So most of the time, people will see it as I need to protect myself and bring myself internally. But it's more of an expansion outward, shining outward. Mm. So some people call this a pillar of light that goes through your spinal cord, your back. It is, as some would call a prana tube, some people call it that, but it's a light that shines through your system. It shines through your chakras. So it's coming through your crown and down through the floor into the ground. And it shines outward to form, you would think of as your field. Some people call it the aura, but it's more than the aura. It is your light body. So you think of it as your essence, and you want to shine it out, and that way people cannot run over you, but they will not deplete you because you're shining so brightly that they won't even be able to handle it. So they actually will keep their distance. That's usually what will happen. So that means you could be in a space with somebody, but they'll actually keep their distance and not overwhelm you. You will actually overwhelm them. And if they cannot handle it, they'll leave. That's what will happen. But that is the best, and that's actually what shielding is all about. It's actually more of becoming you and shining your light. So you can think of it as shining your being through, you want to shine it through the heart. So shine it, okay, I'm getting an image. Okay, so if anybody has seen the toroidal sphere, so it's shining through the heart and then around like this toroidal sphere, around, all around you. So it comes through, it's like going out. Like a donut kind of around you. Have you seen the toroidal sphere? Maybe I could.
Probably, but I can't think what it looks like.
Okay. I'll try to edit this and put the toroidal sphere, maybe a picture of a toroidal sphere on here so people understand.
I'm sure I have.
It's your field, and it goes out, and it flows. But I'm seeing that. So expanding that, strengthening that. Okay. 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 So I got, this is the best way to communicate with others. Okay, what is called toroidal sphere. Okay. There's no right way to do this. but you want to shine yourself in a luminous way. So it is as simple as just imagining working with your field, so strengthening your field. How do you do this? Daily, bring yourself into an awareness, of who and what you are. So meditation is very important to bring yourself to your core. Your core is your heart. Bring it internally into your heart and then spread it. So you're bringing the energy into your heart and then you're expanding it outwards around you. Flowing.
What else can we do?
I apologize for my dog.
What else can we do to remain vibrating high when we are around lower vibrational people?
That is exactly what I have referenced. This is the best way, is to live life like you are the vibration itself. Work on yourself, your energy field. Work on your vibration. See yourself beyond the mind. See yourself beyond the body, and to understand that you are working with the mind, you're working with the body, and to see that energy field that you are. Bring yourself into vibrational sensation. Work with your energy. Reiki is one way. Feeling your energy. Meditation, even exercise could be beneficial, but you want to start to vibrate and feel, opening up your chakras, spreading your sensation. One way to do this would be to sit down and just ask yourself, how do I feel? How do you feel in your body? It's all in what you feel, how you sense. Feel the essence of your soul. Feel your essence of your soul within your body. This is not as hard as some people would think. It is just asking, what do I sense? What do I know? How do I feel? Many feelings are vibrations. Some are not. Some are physical, but most are actually vibratory. So you can feel that. And also ask yourself, do I feel tingles, hotness, coldness? What do I sense? No. It's this simple. The more that you practice, the more that you will know. Some people call understanding emotions empathy, and this is accurate. Intuition, feeling. Growing in that space, you'd be more aware. This is what it means to understand yourself. This is how we communicate to you. Yes, this would be our answer.
Would we clear our energy when we are no longer around lower energies or people the same way?
The same way.
By projecting ourselves outward, or is there a different way that we should clear our energies after?
Yes. It is quite similar, but in a different way. You would want to clear that energy. So yes, expanding after you have seen these people, because they oftentimes deplete you. So to spread it, yes, but also to clear it, to cleanse it. There's several ways to do this. You can clear yourself in a bath with some salt, crystals and sensing and feeling the crystals in the water. You can program water and drink the water to clear yourself, as many have spoken about. The crystals and the water are very programmable. So you could speak kind words to it, loving words, expose it to high vibrational speech and sounds. Crystal bowls are good. Sometimes tuning forks. I do see this as beneficial. The higher the sound, the most beneficial. Dancing, exercise will clear. Movement. Asking us to come in and to reshape your field. This would be beneficial. I would recommend this. I can come in to clear and cleanse, as well as other sources. Metatron is good. Transmutation is possible through others as well. Heather is asking about Goddess Sekhmet. She would be good. Jophiel might be. That's Raphael. Yes, these would be beneficial. The Pleiadians, the Syrians, the Arcturians. I think even the Lyrans. Yes. And if you can get outside, nature is always a good cleanser. And we've also spoken of Reiki before, so yes. But start using your imagination. Pull, tug, get rid of goop, imagine it. Get it out, fling it. Pull cords, get rid of any type of attachment. Even if you think it's imagining, it's fine. Make it up if you think something's there. Maybe it's not, but just go ahead. Clear it out. Clear it out. You'll feel better, regardless if something was there or not.
When do we need to pull cords?
Yes. There's a difference between cleansing a cord and pulling a cord. Pulling a cord would actually be eliminating that contract. And be saying, I don't want to interact with you anymore. Ending that relationship. It's when manipulation is involved and when you feel that your free will is taken away, when it's no longer beneficial to you. Do not feel pressured. If you feel pressured to get rid of a relationship, that means that you're not ready yet for that relationship to dissolve. Do not hold on through attachment and fear. But also, if you feel like you are not ready, then that you are not ready. So even asking that question, you would know that you are not ready. You will know when you're ready. You will be done with that. It will be so much that you are understanding yourself to not have to go through that anymore. You're done with the cycle, the pattern. There's such a thing as being attached to somebody, though, and to keep going back and back and back. So this can be a problem, so you can hang on longer than needed. See if we can communicate and clarify this even more. It's actually, are you defining yourself by this relationship? When are you done defining yourself in that relationship? Redefining yourself, you would believe that you are no longer that relationship, and then you would get rid of it. How are you defining yourself? What do you want to become? Relationships do hold you back, and eventually you do need to redefine yourself. Otherwise, you are not expanding. At some point, even after death, you will need to redefine yourself. Every relationship must end. All of them. Heather is finding this difficult. She's asking, what about twin flames?
I was going to ask that.
This is different. Twin flames are a part of you, and therefore they will never separate. There may be lifetimes and adventures that you go on without them, but eventually you do come back together. Separation is possible, but only on... It's temporary. But other relationships do end, because at some point you need to let them go. There are times where you will come back together, but the other person must sort of have an understanding with you that there's some sort of work that needs to be done that will expand you. So basically, this is very simple. When a relationship is expanding you, that is when you want to hold on to a relationship. If you feel stagnant and stuck, that relationship is no longer serving you, and that's when you need to end a contract. That would be the simplest way to define it. Yes.
What can you tell us about situations where everyone seems to be lower than you vibrationally? What can we do to meet people who match our vibration?
Yes. Some people will ask themselves, why do I have so many relationships where it is not in my benefit? Why do I have so many relationships in which it's holding me back? Why are these relationships so stagnant? You might believe that there are no high vibrational people around and come to that terms. Well, I must be a minority. Well, it's not so much that you're a minority, although that could be accurate, but it's just that you're not vibrating high enough to actually align to high vibrational people. What that means is that you haven't let go of certain things. You are holding yourself back. You are finding yourself too limited. So what I mean by that is that you might be very high, but you are defining yourself as lower. You are not looking for these people. You are actually serving the people who are lower. You are believing that you are lower. You are attracting lower people because you are not in... You are matching to them on some level. So... how are you defining yourself? What are you thinking about yourself? What are you believing about yourself? What sort of programming have you attached yourself with? So you're not understanding yourself to free yourself. To match to higher people, you must let go of lower people. And you may think, what if I let go of everybody, I will be alone? And that is the problem. That's why people hold on to these people. Now, if you think that you don't have many people in your life, and they are lower, and you are looking for higher vibrational people, you do need to let go of the lower vibrational people. However, you can also tell yourself, I'm ready for higher vibrational people. And believe that you are ready for higher vibrational people. You do not need to let go of everybody in your life. But you do need to let go of them to some extent. maybe not hang on to them so much, and to work within the fields of others, match to other vibrations and other frequencies. Make yourself available too. You have to look for these people. You cannot wait at home and then just say, I'm ready for high vibrational people. You have to actually go out, or to make yourself available so that other people understand you or can find you. So you do have to take some action. Some people see the law of attraction as waiting around and it will find you. But you do have to find these people. Go out. You have to work with life for life to work with you. Ask yourself, do you know anybody that's high vibration? If you do know somebody who's high vibration, you're also a match to them. Keep that in mind. So if you know anybody who is high vibrational, anybody at all, keep that in mind. And that will be your guide. If you have somebody in your life who do match to, no matter the source, no matter where they are, or what role they put out in your life, even if you watch them on YouTube, you are a vibrational match. And therefore you can find others who are a vibrational match within that match as well. So you have that bandwidth that you can meet. You're just possibly lowering your bandwidth too. So keep your radio station high and you will find more high vibrational people. Match more to that bandwidth and you'll stay there more often. We could get into how to stabilize your frequency, but that may be beneficial in another time.
What do you have to say about family members and loved ones? Because it seems sad to give them up.
No. That's not the problem. So the problem isn't that you need to get rid of family members. The problem is that you tell yourself you have to. That's the problem. When do you want to give them up? If you believe you have to give them up, a part of you wants to give them up. So let them go. If you ask that question, you need to let them go because a part of you wants to. You're only afraid to. You're afraid of judgment or separation within yourself. There's a part of you that doesn't believe that you need to let them go. You have conflict within yourself. That's the real problem. Not the fact that you need to give them up. And that's all. Because if they're really that low and you know you need to get rid of them, then you need to let them go. If you're really that sad, there's a part of you that needs to let them go. How do you heal from this? You need to recognize your true, authentic self. Where is the fear? The fear is usually not about letting them go. The fear is about something else. The fear is, I need to leave them and then something bad will happen. I need to leave them and then I will feel sad. Why are you going to feel sad? What are you telling yourself that you need to believe that you need to be sad? We need you to understand where this is really coming from. People don't ask this question because they really want to hang on to these people. They ask this question because they think they need to let go, but they can't. And what are they telling themselves about the I can't? There's something there that they are attaching themselves to. Some sort of belief or fear. And usually that belief or fear is not even accurate. It's a part of your upbringing or some sort of philosophy. So work with that and then you'll solve your problem. You have to let go of attachments and attachments in reference to your beliefs and your programming. So that is my answer.
Is it ever beneficial to stay in environments to elevate the place to a higher consciousness through your influence?
Yes. It would be beneficial to stay in certain towns or areas to elevate the consciousness of the planet. For if only high vibrational people lived in one area, it would be very imbalanced. So, what about people who want to move, but also recognize that they are doing a service in their area? Do not feel something like obligation to stay in that area. You do not need to. Others will take your place. You can move if you wish. However, there are certain environments where you will go into, such as schools, government buildings, and things like that, where you could justify I'm going in there because it is beneficial. But you're really just tricking yourself. Well, I'm going in there and I hate it, but I'm doing a service. You're only holding yourself back usually. If you tell yourself this, you are usually holding yourself back to justify why it is okay that you hate your job and you don't leave it. There's a difference. Do you really go in and recognize that you are seeing a difference from you being there? Or are you just going in there and justifying why you were there and you did not leave? Because you're not leaving out of fear. That's fear. If you really recognize that you're going in and you're making a difference, then you will feel joy. See the difference. What else would you like to know?
That's it, unless Heather has anything else.
I think that is it then. Thank you. Yes, thank you for your time, and we will leave you. Okay. All right, lots to consider and to reflect upon. All right, I hope this is helpful. It actually went a lot quicker than I thought. 35 minutes. It wasn't even an hour. Short and sweet, you guys. Okay, but there was a jam-packed information though too. So yeah, some clarification on relationships. I do plan on making another video too, about cords and cutting cords or cleansing cords and healing relationships, and some more information on that too, because there's a difference between actually cutting a cord or healing a relationship, which is possible. It depends though. So you can heal a relationship that isn't working so well and you don't want to end it. But I'll go into that. And because sometimes you do need to cut a cord, even if you want to heal a relationship. And I'll tell you why.
Are you wanting to channel that, or that would just
no, no, I won't.
I just wondered because I just remembered that I watched some video, and this was only by one person, that was talking about like how there's a difference between cutting a cord and fully removing a cord, and why you might want to do one versus the other depending on the situation. And I just wondered if that.
I thought that it was the same thing.
Well, this person said that it's different. So I don't know. That's why
I've never heard that. But I will say, I used to just cut a cord, and then you would have, like, the cord, like, you would cut in the middle. But no, I've been, like, recognizing that to really get it at a root, really pull it out.
I think that's what she meant.
Oh, so, it can reattach, though. It really can. If you just cut it, it can reattach. So there is a difference, too. And I'll go more into, but no, I wasn't going to channel it because it was, I have some personal information. I have some personal examples in which I cut a cord and I healed a relationship. So I'll give you my personal stories. And then also I was thinking of doing a meditation where I would lead you through how to heal a relationship or attempt. Because the one that I did end up cutting a cord with, I tried to heal and it didn't work. And I'll tell you why. The other person was not willing to. So I'll tell you how that works and how to do that. Okay. Any other questions, comments, other things?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah. I would say, though, if you're cutting a cord, you really just want to detach a cord. So you do want to probably get it at the root, because it can reattach. The other person can reattach it. So, yeah, I can go into that too in the video.
Well, I mean, I guess the difference, but again, that's why I was just saying it's something that you could channel, being like, when is that necessary versus not? Because, like, to me, it's like
do you want me to check in? I can check in.
No, I mean, you don't have to.
Well, let's
do it right now.
Well, I mean, really quickly. Is there a difference between cutting and...
So, my thought, because I think it was in another channeling, I think it was Michael, was, like, saying, like, you should cut all cords with anyone that, like, you're no longer interacting with. So, to me... How I would think of it is that if you have something where it's manipulative or something, you do not want to interact with that person, then you would remove it because you do not want that relationship. Whereas it's someone else that you just don't interact with anymore, you can cut it and then you could. Reform it.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see.
Unless we straight out said that in the other channeling. Because they were saying then you can reattach it, but they're not taking your energy at that time because it's not attached.
Yeah, maybe.
But it could reattach if you interact with that person again.
Yeah. You can, too, do this before bed. Just set the intent with your higher self to go in and clear any of the cords that need to be cleared from not interacting with. Because it might be a lot to go through and be like, who am I not interacting with that I might still have a cord with, right? You can just clear it at night during sleep. But I can check in real quick about about that. I'm getting they're the same thing. Cutting a cord and detaching a cord is the same. If you cut a cord, it's really cut. Yeah, don't just leave it there. So if you think, it's really all intent, really, right? So it doesn't, are you really cutting it with that intent that you cut it? So I'm a very visual person, so I do visualize. So like if you are visualizing it being cut and then you imagine like a, like a hanging cord that is still there, you might want to yank it out just to really grasp that you are ending it, But if you do just cut it and you know that it's cut, it's cut. Yeah, okay. How do you feel about it? Do you feel like it's cut? It's all about the feeling. And your interpretation. Yes. Okay. All right, guys. Okay, so I think we answered that. All right, so see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.